shows as a kid, like many people of my ilk, and I didn't, but I started with movies. I fell in love with movies very young, at a very young age. And I also loved to play with action figures. And so I would make movies with my action figures. I wouldn't film them, but I would pretend like I was filming them. And I would use G.I. Joes, but they wouldn't be G.I. Joe, I wouldn't use their names. I would cast them as my favorite actors. Like Lieutenant Flint would be Richard Dreyfuss, or Hawk would be Jack Nicholson, whatever. And I would act out other stories. Sometimes G.I. Joe stories, sometimes movies I liked, movies I'd seen. So I was doing that alone, almost always alone, for a long time. And then I got into drama in school. Once I got to high school, it wasn't until high school that I got into theater. And I didn't really know anything about theater. I'd been to a few plays with my parents. They took me to see Peter Pan and West Side Story. But I didn't really, and I loved them, but I didn't really, know anything about theater until 9th grade. And I started doing plays, and I fell in love with plays, the theater. And and then I started doing speech and debate, and I did lots of theater. I was in tech theater, I was in dance classes, I was doing all of these different things. And I thought I would end up being a drama teacher. That's what I sort of saw myself doing, teaching drama in high school. And I know now in hindsight that that's really because the only professionals I knew were my drama teachers, who I idolized and loved. And I do think I would have been perfectly happy doing that and fulfilled artistically, but I ended up not having very good grades, and because I was doing theater all the time, and so all of my ideas to go and be a teacher didn't really pan out because I didn't have the grades to go to these schools. So I ended up at a community college that had a great theater program and a lot of money, so it was free, and we put on these big plays, huge, amazing shows. And it was the teacher at that school, Brad Baker, who suggested I audition for Juilliard.
Yeah.
And I did, and I got in. And it's really that's really how I ended up. I was on my way to being a teacher or a director.
Yeah.
And I probably would have, if I didn't get into Juilliard, I probably would have ultimately found my way into acting, but